Hello.
I'm myself, Stan the Man, Chief of Marketing. Essa is managing the stream back there, not showing his face. And we also have Esko.
Hello.
From the experimentation team. Today we're gonna show you guys some of the stuff we've been slowly working on and quickly, and then we'll move to the Q&A. So some updates we're currently doing is Sakari, for example. Why do I hear myself? Thank you. So one of the updates that we are adding is Sakari is working on adding new fields to the game engine, which will allow in the future when we have Arduino or UDP kind of bots, you'll be able to add them easily or add the IP address directly on the website rather than having to hard code them into the Python. Is that correct, Henry? Is my explanation correct? Because I'm still confused about that feature a bit.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Great. Nobody listens to Stan. I was telling that Sakari is doing the feature for the... So you can add custom values to the game engine.
Yeah.
For like the IP address.
You should ask Esko.
Esko knows better?
What?
No.
I know better? Why would I know better?
All right.
GE.
Seems like I know the best. Great. So anyway, the point is, because we are planning to release the Arduino SDK, the way the Arduinos work in the game engine is you have to write their IP addresses on the network. So you can add it in the game engine, like you can add the robot, say controller 1, but you need to also hard code the IP address. So you'll be able to do it on the game engine rather than having to write it in the Python. The problem is if you write it in the Python, if you update the Python, you might lose the IP address. So it's a bit annoying. So we fixed that. And yeah, so Sakari is working on that feature, and you'll be basically, it's not just the IP addresses, but you'll be able to also add other custom parameters to your robots directly on the game engine. Additionally to that, Henry has been working on a pretty cool thing that we hope to release by the end of next week, soon TM, and that is related to the bundler. So you guys probably saw that on, for example, on a game like Batman 66 Pinball Machine, we actually have 2 cameras in one stream. So we wanted to make this feature easily accessible, not just for people who know how to code or how to edit the code, but also to people who maybe don't want to mess around with it. So Henry has been working on a new image and also on the new front-end UI, where you'll be able to add additional camera views and also like adjust the size of them, adjust the position, all just by toggling some buttons without having to edit any code. Do you have the demo ready?
Almost.
Soon TM. Well then, before we move to that, and while Henry's prepping still, I would like to remind you guys that the Creator Fund form is open and is available for ideas. So if you guys have any ideas of things that you would like to build and hook to Surrogate, if they're different from what we were doing in the past, you're trying to experiment with something new, we can cover the costs of your project. So if you fill in the form, if the project costs are under $200, we will cover your project costs if we like your idea. So make sure to fill in the form. You can find it on our creators page, so SurrogateTV/creator, and you can fill it in. And we are going to select the creators on Monday already and announce the first Creator Fund people or creators that we select. So make sure to fill in the form if you have an idea. Some people, by the way, why do I hear a call again myself? That's one of you guys. Can you mute your audio?
I am.
I'm very muted.
Greenberg isn't.
But I guess he's the one having the audio.
What's happening here? All right, some slight technical difficulty. But anyway, make sure to apply to the Creator Fund if you have any ideas. Esko, or are you ready, Henry? All right, Henry is ready. So Henry can show us the demo, which is really awesome.
We might get some feedback now. I think it's my mic for some reason.
No, you're muted.
I know.
No, it's like it doesn't care if it is muted in, like it comes through the microphone if the laptop is
mute your
giving.
speakers.
Good point.
You both didn't mute your speakers?
I should have it muted.
As you can see,
I think it was
we
Henry.
have a professional setup here. Everything is
The
well
setup is
tested.
professional, but the people maybe not. I think that's the issue.
Honest reviews by Esko Vähämäki. All right. So, Henry,
Can you see me?
let's see. Yeah, I can see. Can you tell again? Can I hear your mic?
Check.
Yeah, okay. Everything works great. All right. So, what do we have here?
Yeah, for the people watching, jump into the live stream from Henry. So
In Discord.
in Discord, click Henry's name and
Actually, you should do it, Essa, so we can see
No,
it.
but
on
I can't because Henry is not hooked up to the HDMI. That was the point I said.
No, you can jump in on Discord and then it will show there. No?
No?
Okay. Do you want an HDMI right now? Do we do it quickly?
Nah, let's roll with it.
All right.
If you click Henry's screen, you can see it. Fine, guys.
yeah, so everyone click Henry's like basically name on Discord. So you will see the live stream.
Just gonna give it a second, and well, this update's gonna be pretty big on the streamer side. There will be quite a few changes. I'm not gonna list them all here, but the main idea is to make it easier to use, so you don't have to go to the TAML and configure there. You can do more things here in the front end. So first of all, you'll have this, you can choose the format, so that's the resolution, FPS, and the format.
So you can now select RAW or MJPEG. But can you also
Yep.
choose like H.264? No.
You can, but that's not gonna be passed through, so you
Oh,
don't get
okay. So it won't work.
you don't get the latency improvement. I don't think.
I see. All right. So yeah, if you have a hardware encoder in your camera, then what you do is you still have to edit the TOML file, but it's a more advanced use case if you want to have the lowest latency, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so if you have multiple cameras selected or on your system, you can select which one to use here. And if you want to use the bundler system, just enable picture-in-picture, and you'll have to have one camera set as the main camera, and then just select another camera and set it as a secondary, and then you can have it appear here in the stream.
So basically,
Hey, there's a
picture in
tiny
picture.
camera.
The UI is still a bit of work in progress, so it's not gonna be quite like this, but
I think it's pretty cool. Like especially if you have like a big area of the game itself, and then you have let's say a tiny FPV camera on the robot itself or something like that. Then it makes really a lot of sense. And of course, in pinball games where you need to have two cameras, there's just no way around.
Whoa, now you have 3 cameras.
yeah,
That's some
there's
advanced.
no limitation.
Whoa.
Well, there is a limitation. Hi, my name is Raspberry Pi 4. I can only encode 2 streams, maybe.
Well,
3.
there is 3 right now, so. at
I'm,
least
although, yeah, I mean, if you use H.264, no, it won't work. Never mind, no. But yeah, that's cool. And then you can still adjust the settings of each camera, right? Like the saturation, brightness, and things like that.
Yeah, sure.
Really cool. So yeah, it will be really easy to add multiple cameras to your stream if that is your setup, and there can be all types of cameras, right? Like it can be a CSI camera, like a Raspberry camera, and then a USB camera, and then you can combine them all together and
Yeah.
create a multi-view CCTV style setup. We should make a game where just like, like we put a bunch of cameras in the office and we just put them all together just to show how cool is our bundler. Henry's like, no. Oh, well. It's late. It's late. All right. It's late. All right. Esko, do you have anything on your side?
Yeah, I can give some fast updates. Most of them you most likely know. Maybe you noticed we kind of released the first building blocks video, as we call them. This kind of very simple video on how to get your development started with the games of your own. It's announced in the Discord, in the whatever chat we have for announcement. I guess it's called
News and announcements?
yeah, news and announcements. So yeah, these kind of short videos I was mentioning last time, 5 minutes, some simple topic, some simple idea that we can explain in that kind of a short time frame around some very basic concepts of our platform. This first one is kind of the root tutorial for all things. So it's basically how to start your development, and basically we are gonna have other videos that have this as a base. So they will link to this video as like how to start the development, and then it goes around some other idea or some other feature or some other hardware that you can hook up to the platform. The next one is gonna be about servos.
Yeah.
It's gonna be released soon. And we are aiming to release this once per 2 weeks in the beginning, and then once per week when we get the kind of system rolling smoothly.
Nice. And also, I guess this is the first time we have a Hackster.io post and also Instructables post, right?
Yeah, so tied to these tutorials, we will also post in those 2 places. It will be kind of the same content, but in a different format. If you like to, for example, read through a simple tutorial, you can go to those places to do that.
Yeah, and at least with the Hackster.io, we want to populate a lot. We want to basically, everything we do on video, we will also post to Hackster.io, not just on the building blocks, but also on like the platform overview and how to add like pre-made games, the template games, and also how to use the SurrogateTV platform per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of content coming to Hackster.io in the coming month.
Yeah. And then another thing that the team is working on is, of course, this week's event. You most likely know already that we are going to have an event where you can interact with change dogs. So basically you can give them treats or drive around with them to kind of play with them. So yeah, that's going to be this Friday from 5 to 6 Finnish time. So definitely join for that. And what comes to these weekly events, we will aim to kind of release the source code for example, this time for how do we make the movement of the servo so that we can release the dog treats kind of couple at a time.
Or move the paintball gun.
Yeah, for example, that is also now in our public Python SDK Git. So you can check how did we basically make these events happen through that. And we will link these in the future to the description of the Let's Do This game, so you can easily see what events we have had and how did we do those. And we plan to in the future also include some documentation on the hardware for that event, so you can kind of see the whole event, how it was built.
Nice.
All right, that's it from me.
Do we have any other updates? I don't think we do.
Yeah, let's go to the Q&A section.
Yeah, and we did it in less than 15 minutes. Great, because the main point of this session is for you guys to ask questions. So curious to hear, what questions do you have? You are able to unmute yourself in Discord and feel free to voice your questions or ideas or suggestions or whatever else you could possibly have.
Hey, Henry. Hey, guys. Hey, for that picture-in-picture thing that you're working on,
Sure.
is there a potential to be able to flip between 2 video streams instead of picture-in-picture, but to use it as either a key press or an overlay button, flip back and forth between a couple different streams? You know, like Tariba style. You got that front camera, you got that side camera. You can see the game from two different views.
Well, not in the current system. Well, potentially. I'd have to investigate it a bit more. Right now, if we did implement it, there might be quite a bit of latency between switching cameras. There's another way, but that would take more work from us to get working. So right now, the answer is no.
Yeah, I think so, because ZZ is building a new game, and he mentioned that because he has like 4 different robots. So his main interest, I assume, maybe I'm wrong, ZZ, but the main interest is like, I have 4 robots, and during the game, imagine each of them has a camera, right? How could I can I during the game switch from one camera to another camera for the user? And we came to a conclusion that I think it's not possible with the current system at all, because we basically give a certain stream to the user when the game starts, and it stays like this until the end of the game.
Well, if you use something like OBS, of course, then it would be possible.
In between,
Yeah.
but that creates a lot of latency.
Yeah, of course.
Like the other way is you could potentially somehow during the game swap those streams, but we don't have that functionality just yet.
yeah.
At least it's not intended to be used this way.
To clarify, that picture-in-picture functionality that you have right now, is it possible to make that in-picture full screen so it appears as a full screen stream?
Yeah, it is.
So essentially, it would emulate the dual streams, right? It would appear to be two full screen streams.
Could you elaborate, Zizi?
No, I
Oh,
get
do
the
you
point.
understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be possible. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's still some latency, but
The application here is for the UFO catcher. I got a UFO catcher in the garage I'm trying to put online. And ideally, the claw machines are great, but with one camera, it's difficult to judge depth. You really need that second view to see the other axes moving, how far back the claw is moving. So yeah, I would love to get a second stream going, and this looks like a possibility to do so. I'm just wondering if that picture-in-picture, if you can just expand the size of that video to appear as a full screen video stream. I think there's potential there.
You can, but I guess the risk is that you break the connection for a bit and then the user might not see it. Right? Because you kind of
Gotcha.
do it if you do it on the go. So the better way is to just keep it as picture-in-picture, because the reality is, because of the way cameras are made, you will probably have extra space on left or right. So you can have the primary camera, which you can keep it full, and then because you can have the picture-in-picture, you have a smaller view where you can show the other side. Because you can see for the claw machine, it's pretty easy. Like Arcade Math has it done that way, and it works pretty well.
But yeah, I guess if you will want to automate that during a game, you would somehow need to be discussing from Python to the streamer, and we currently don't do that. Like if you want to automate that,
I mean,
you
it's
could switch.
possible. You make a script that restarts this. You edit the file, the TOML file,
Yeah,
and then
actually
you
that's-
force
No,
restart.
but that's
But
that
Why?
takes way too long.
no, it
no,
doesn't.
it doesn't.
Takes a couple
It
of
takes
seconds.
quick. The
No,
problem
but
with that restarting is quick. Restarting is nearly instant. But the problem with that setup is that what might happen, especially if you want to charge for a game, is that a person gets switched, but somehow they lose connection, because we cannot guarantee. We don't have any precautions if they might not get the stream back. That's the risky part. But technically, you probably could do something like that. You could try it. I mean, you could have a game running, and in the TOML file, you could just change the values and press sudo systems and write sudo systemctl restart srtg and see what happens and how long is the switch. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
but it's gonna be some seconds at least, so it's not the smoothest.
Yeah, it's
like,
like
of
2
course.
seconds of black screen and then hopefully it recovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, do you want me to go more in depth? There is a better way, but that's more difficult and might not work that well on a Raspberry, because then you'd have two full
Separate streams and then we actually used to have it like that before we had the bundler.
Yeah.
On Batman 66 we actually sent 2 video streams, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
As separate, but
But the
Raspberry Pi doesn't like that.
And our front end currently doesn't allow you to switch between those.
Yeah.
So that would need implementation.
Also,
on that side.
it's bad for your bandwidth, especially since you mentioned that you have limited bandwidth, ZZ, as far as I remember, because then you have 2 full streams and it's like 2.5 megabits each. So then it's 5 megabits, and then plus the watch review, so it's another 2.5 if you bundle that one. So then it's 7.5 at least, just for one game on a minimum.
Is it in here?
That's a fire alarm.
Is
That-
it in here?
That's on the other side, not here.
Yeah, I'll go investigate.
All right.
All
Seems
right.
like we have a fire alarm.
No problem. We continue. the
Yeah,
Q&A.
let's continue.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Whoa, that's actually much louder
Guys,
when
that's a
you.
fire alarm. That's a fire alarm. This is not a joke.
All right.
Well, any quick questions?
You have 1 minute.
The first time we're on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. How can that happen? I don't see any smoke though.
I mean, it started on the other side.
Yeah.
It's something.
Is it from your guys' office or is it
No,
from?
it's from the second office.
Yeah.
generally. Like
It's-
some.
That's empty.
Yeah. Which is even more concerning.
Like if any office here would start the fire, I would assume it's ours because we have so unsecure
Yeah, let's
setups
go
there.
out.
We go out.
Yeah, go out. We don't know where it's coming from.
All right. Well, sorry guys, this is unfortunate. But maybe we can join from phone.
Yeah, we can go outside.
We will go outside, join from phone, and continue the discussion. Give us 10 minutes and we'll be back.